Actors don't just perform, some completely become their characters. From Evan Peters living as Jeffrey Dahmer for months, to Austin Butler refusing to drop Elvis's voice for 2 years, and even Gary Oldman sleeping in a coffin to play Dracula, these stars went way beyond the script to stay in character. Austin Butler didn't just play Elvis, he lived as him for 2 years. During the making of Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, Butler stayed in character around the clock, never slipping back into his real voice or mannerisms. For the director and crew, it became normal to only hear Elvis's voice, both on and off set. The dedication went so deep that Luhrmann admitted he didn't actually hear Butler's true voice until long after filming had ended. Benedict Cumberbatch went to extreme lengths for his role in The Power of the Dog. To embody his rugged character, he gave up bathing entirely, wanting his natural odor to linger in every scene. Cumberbatch admitted he carried that layer of stink everywhere, even during dinners with colleagues off set. On top of that, he smoked real, unfiltered cigarettes throughout filming, so many that he gave himself nicotine poisoning 3 separate times. Daniel Day-Lewis devoted nearly a year to becoming Abraham Lincoln for Steven Spielberg's Lincoln. He immersed himself in the president's world by reading multiple biographies and autobiographies, studying his speeches, and even examining photographs as if they were mirrors, searching for the man behind the image. Day-Lewis stayed in character every single day, carrying Lincoln's voice, posture, and presence on and off set. Anne Hathaway went all in to prepare for her role as Rebecca Neumann in We Crashed. To capture the character's lifestyle authentically, she committed to becoming a raw vegan, completely changing her diet during production. Hathaway trained daily with a yoga teacher, building the physical and mental discipline that matched Rebecca's passionate approach to wellness. This dedication wasn't just about performance, it was about fully living the routines and values of the person she portrayed. Zoë Kravitz went to unusual lengths to embody Selina Kyle in The Batman. While preparing for the role, she joked that she even drank milk from a cat bowl, fully leaning into her Catwoman persona. Beyond that, she spent time observing and interacting with real cats to capture their independent, unpredictable energy on screen. Kravitz admitted that the biggest challenge wasn't the stunts or action scenes, but simply trying to get the cats to cooperate during filming. Nicole Kidman fully immersed herself in back-to-back roles with intense dedication. On 9 Perfect Strangers, she stayed in character as Masha for the entire 5-month shoot, only meeting her co-stars for the first time on camera to preserve authenticity in their interactions. Shortly after, while preparing to play Lucille Ball in Being the Ricardos, Kidman went even further by smoking cigarettes to achieve Ball's famously deep, smoky voice. She explained that with enough warm-up, she could replicate the sound perfectly. Jennifer Lawrence took method acting literally on the set of Don't Look Up. Since her character frequently got high in the film, Lawrence smoked marijuana during filming to step fully into the role. The choice left her relaxed in character, but also made her an easy target for her co-stars, who couldn't resist playing jokes while she was in that state. For Lawrence, it wasn't just about pretending, it was about embodying the quirks and habits of her character in real time, even if it meant giving the cast plenty of opportunities to mess with her on set. Tom Holland picked up a brand new skill while preparing for Uncharted. To make his bartending scenes look authentic, he actually enrolled in bartending school and even worked a few undercover shifts at a London bar. Wearing a white tuxedo, Holland would slip behind the counter, borrow the bartender's clothes, and serve real customers as practice. For him, the challenge wasn't just about acting, it was about learning the rhythm, flair, and confidence of a true bartender. Gary Oldman went to chilling extremes while preparing for Bram Stoker's Dracula. Director Francis Ford Coppola had most of the cast live together during filming, but Oldman chose total isolation to deepen his connection to the role. He even slept in a coffin every night, fully embracing the darkness of Count Dracula. His co-stars rarely saw him off set, meeting him almost exclusively in character during rehearsals and filming. Jon Bernthal doesn't just act like his characters, he becomes them through real-world training. For King Richard, where he played tennis coach Rick Moxey, Bernthal spent hours every day at a tennis academy in Ojai, not only learning the sport, but actually coaching nationally ranked young athletes and guiding them through tournaments. Andrew Garfield took extreme steps to prepare for Martin Scorsese's Silence. To portray a 17th century Jesuit priest, he committed to 6 months of celibacy and frequent fasting, pushing his body and mind into a state of discipline similar to the characters. Garfield also undertook the Ignatian spiritual exercises, a 31-day retreat designed in the 1500s that guides participants to imagine themselves in the life of Christ. These practices demanded daily meditation and ritual, immersing him fully in the spiritual mindset of his role. Camilla Luddington went to great lengths to keep her performance consistent on Grey's Anatomy. Playing Dr. Jo Wilson meant swapping her natural British accent for an American one, but she found switching back and forth too risky. To avoid slipping, she stayed in character between takes and spoke with an American accent throughout the entire workday. Even behind-the-scenes videos caught her sounding American because she refused to let the British tones creep back in. Evan Peters didn't just act as Jeffrey Dahmer, he lived in that role for months. While filming Netflix's Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, he stayed in character even when the cameras weren't rolling. Cast members admitted they barely knew the real him during production because he was so deeply immersed in Dahmer's mindset. Eddie Redmayne went far beyond script study to prepare for The Good Nurse. Before stepping into the role of real-life ICU nurse and serial killer Charles Cullen, he actually enrolled in nursing school for 2 weeks. He trained hands-on with medical procedures, learning just enough to understand the rhythm of a nurse's daily work. Redmayne also immersed himself in Cullen's world by watching his televised interviews and court appearances, carefully observing his body language and subtle habits. From the stillness to the constant small movements, every detail Redmayne picked up came from this intense preparation to fully embody a chilling real-life figure. Paul Dano pushed his limits while preparing to play the Riddler in The Batman. To capture the unsettling presence of his character, he even wrapped himself tightly in plastic wrap, mimicking the suffocating, disturbing look seen on screen. The extreme method had real consequences. He described his head throbbing from heat, sweat, and lack of oxygen. That night, he struggled to sleep, shaken by the intense physical toll of staying in costume. The exhaustion and insomnia became part of his process, as he found it difficult to step away from the energy required to embody such a dark, demanding role. Jared Leto took method acting to another level on the set of Morbius. Because his character lived with a debilitating illness, Leto insisted on using crutches at all times, even off-camera. This meant that every simple task, including bathroom breaks, took up to 45 minutes. The commitment was so disruptive that the crew eventually struck a compromise, providing him with a wheelchair to speed things up. Jesse Eisenberg took his role as Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network so seriously that his co-stars noticed the difference. Dakota Johnson recalled that while Andrew Garfield was warm and chatty off camera, Eisenberg barely acknowledged her, staying distant even during casual moments on set. Garfield suggested that this behavior might have been part of Eisenberg's process, keeping the reserved, socially detached energy of Zuckerberg alive between takes.